William Hunt several sponsors of the Trilby Tour. The perfect gentleman's playground.
Welcome to the magnificent Foxhills as we go in search of the Trilby Tour champion of Surrey. You've seen the car, you've seen me. Now let's see some golf.
This week we're back to the heartlands of English golfing heritage at Foxhills Golf Club and Resort in Surrey. Last year the players tackled the Bernard Hunt course, so this year another 120 Trilby Torians have returned to play the other course at this venue, the Long Cross, and we go in search of regional champion number 8 on this year's tour. Coming up on a packed show this week, the Trilby Torians excel themselves to put on a real show for the cameras in the race for those 10 tickets to the Trilby Tour World Championship final at Stoke Park later in the year. As Halloween approaches, we'll have our usual high-pressure finish as even the short putts take on a terrifying significance in the winner-takes-all playoff. The bottoms are a-squeaking. Foxhills Director of Golf Alistair Hay waxes lyrical on year 2 of the Trilby and taking on the Long Cross.
Hosting major golf events is important for every golf course. Foxhills, as I say, it continues to keep us on the golfing map and it continues to get our name in front of as many people as we possibly can. And with Sky Sports and the Trilby Tour, we'll aim to achieve that.
Our tribute to Halloween comes in the shape of Rogues Gallery and some truly horrific scenes as a select bunch of Trilby Torians go trick-or-treating at Foxhills. Don't look at me, mate, you hit it. And adding to this year's list of England football legends, a certain world-class frontman joins the tour to see if he can outscore Messrs Sharp and Letitia. Find out who he is and how he did later in the show. With regulation then, absolutely beautiful day out on the course at Foxhills today. And Knight trying his luck at 14, he's got a pretty good strike on that.
Yeah, brave second shot, just got to contend with that ditch. Comfortably flown that by some 20 yards, so setting up a great opportunity to potentially make a 4 and a birdie.
Now Andrew Ferris, the 6 handicapper, managed to get himself into the clubhouse with 34 points and good enough for the lead, but as the course dries out, Matt, as this day goes on, if this weather continues, the scores will improve on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Course measuring just over 6,700 yards, so lots of birdie opportunities out there today. Obviously, first part of the task is to find the short grass. Smales finds himself in the right-hand rough here on 12, so a bit of work to be done to find the green. And that is a fantastic golf shot, setting up a birdie opportunity.
Knight then looking to benefit from that shot that he got comfortably over the ditch. He's got really good sight of the flag, and he'll be kicking himself after that one.
Yeah, the man is on fire. 26 points already through 13 holes. But has left himself an uphiller, so can afford to be aggressive.
Oh, quick shot from David Just. And Dave, winner at the Oxfordshire back in 2010. Before, of course, the reign of Paul Llewellyn, Rocky Llewellyn, taking over in 2011-2012. Smales, birdie opportunity at 12. And this is where your score is very important at Foxhills. You've got to make these putts. You've got to give yourself a chance.
Yeah, now Knight back up the green. Slopes on the green, a real character of the course, so can afford to be aggressive. That's exactly what he's done. I'd expect to see him tap that one in for par. Now back on 12. Tee shot in the right hand rough. Great second shot. Lovely first putt. Just a little bit of tidying up to do for his 4. Would successfully go on for 34 points, which is currently joint clubhouse leader. Can't see it staying there though.
So Smales and Ferris on 34, but plenty of room for manoeuvre. Dave Just.
Yeah, on the stroke index 1 hole, the 9th. Stunning second shot, making it look very easy.
Oh, no.
Oh, dearie me, I spoke too soon.
Well, the former Trilby Tour champion of Oxfordshire, wasting some opportunities out there on the course, and will feel at 33 points that he's left a few out there, and that may be under pressure. Good enough at the moment for second place, but we will see. Now, what about this putter, Matt, for Knight?
You're getting a close look at the ball. Oh no, and the ball getting a close look at the hole, but not dropping. And they all count. And in a pressure-packed day, what's that going to cost him at the end of it? 35 points, clubhouse leader. I imagine that will definitely be good enough for a top 10, but will it secure a top 4 place?
Now, Paul Beckwith at the 9th, good sight of the target.
Yeah, players making this hole look easy. Fantastic tee shot. Fairways and greens soft after this lovely summer we've had. So expect to see a little bit of reaction on the ball here when this lands. Oh yes. That's a little bit more than a little bit of reaction. Fantastic approach shot.
Spin of the year on the Trilby Tour so far from Beckwith. Now Steve Barnett's second shot into the 12th, and he too compiling a very handy score.
Yeah, 23 points through 11 holes. So currently at 1 under, and with shots like that, expect to see that number growing rapidly.
Now you may recognise this face, James Heath, very talented amateur golfer. And the left-hander made the playoff at Foxhills last year. Lost out to Ian Barker in the end. But that wonderful smooth swing and rhythm of Heath, good enough for 34 points. So into a tie for second place, but no guarantees of a ticket to the World Championship final at Stoke Park.
Now Beckwith, after that phenomenal amount of spin from the back of the green right the way down to the front of the green. The good news is his putt's back uphill, so can afford to be aggressive. And that's exactly what he's done.
God.
Oh yes, get in.
Oh, fantastic stuff. It is incredible, isn't it, Matt, the number of great shots that these players make. 34 points then for Beckwith at the end of the day. Another man who moved into that group that we think is going to be around about the bubble. Now, Comer.
Yeah, on the same green, this will move from the right. Pace all important back down the green. Oh, get in. Anything you can do. I'm not going to be left behind.
Andy, back again.
Yep.
We haven't qualified yet, have we?
No, we haven't.
This is what, 5th go?
6th round in 3 years, yeah.
6th attempt. This is the 6th attempt. So you've had 5 goes at it. We've not qualified yet. What's been your best finish?
I've missed it by 1.
Ouch.
Yeah. Yeah, that was at the Oxfordshire.
So what are you aiming to shoot today?
I would think 34, 35 should get through.
I think 34, 35 certainly get you in the bottom half of the top 10.
Yeah.
I think 37 will get you into the playoff.
Yeah.
You don't fancy the playoff today?
That's quite high pressure, that. I mean, yeah, of course, if I can get that many points and get in there, then it'd be great to play in it, but that is serious pressure for
You
that.
talk about pressure, but you've got on the bag with you today?
I've got my girlfriend Lorraine. She's been caddying for the last 3 years. She's a great girl. Doesn't give very good yardages, but, you know, she's good at carrying the bag.
That looked pretty good for yardage there, Lorraine. Unfortunately for Andy though, it was 6th time unlucky and no ticket for Stoke Park. But he did bring his metal detector for a bit of treasure hunting at the end of the round. Right then, here's William again.
Chris, you back again?
Yep, this is I think the 4th year now. Been coming since Buckinghamshire and it's just improved every year.
And you sure about having Ron in your bag?
I'm 100% about Ron, he knows me game really well.
Ron, you were going to play this year, but what happened?
My cousin had a stroke and I was going to play for him, but now I'm just going to carry the bag and dedicate this to my cousin Carlos Vinent.
What's the state of play with him?
Yes, he's getting better, but not yet to play golf.
We need him back on the Trilby Tour, don't we?
Definitely, yeah. By next year I think he should be.
And what's been a good finish, Ron?
Today?
Yeah.
36, 37.
Where do you think you'll come today, you guys?
Within the top 10.
Top 10, so
yeah.
You don't fancy a top 4 finish?
I'll have to tell you after 9.
So what's the best advice you're going to give him today?
I'll just to keep his head, keep him calm and that, yeah.
And who's the better player out of you two?
We both play off the same, so I beat him in the scratch the other week. So.
Oh!
Yeah, but I wasn't very well.
Gentlemen, play well.
Cheers, William.
Thanks a lot, William. Thank you.
It was all smiles at the end of the round from Ron and Chris as they managed to hustle a steady 34 points to tie for 2nd on the leaderboard here at Foxhills Club and Resort. But as the Regulation 18 gets well and truly underway, there's still plenty of golf to be played. Find out if 34 is going to be enough when the Trilby Tour Championship of Surrey continues after the break.
The perfect gentleman's playground. William Hunt Savile Row sponsors the Trilby Tour.
Welcome back to Foxhills and the Trilby Tour Championship of Surrey. 35 points leads the tournament at the moment in regulation, but before we get back to the action, it's time to hear from Foxhills Director of Golf, Alistair Hay.
To have big golf events at your golf course is important in any day and age to get your name out there, to be renowned for coming to be able to play golf and have a good time. I think the Trilby Tour last year for Foxhills raised the profile for us, gained us a wider audience as to the golfing fraternity. And we've had quite a few people coming back from the tournament wanting to play at other times in the year, so it's been good for us and I hope it's been good for the Trilby Tour. The long cross course we're playing this year, we played the Burn and Hunt last year, it's a little bit tighter off the tee, very, very tree lined, very penal if you miss the fairway, smaller greens, so the golfer's going to have to hit it long and pretty accurate into the greens. And putting is a major factor as well, although we've had a lot of rain, the greens have sustained the weather very well and are rolling very quickly, so I'm looking forward to watching them. Not too many times I hope, but they'll have a good time. Our signature hole in the long cross is the long par 5 14th. Spectacular views standing, playing on it, but it is a particularly difficult hole, not just off the tee box, but to lay up or go for it. And two, especially with the weather to be a little bit drier. But it all comes down to putting. The older style golf courses, I think, although modern technology has superseded a lot of them, there's a few little quirks around here that may be a potential card wrecker. So yeah, we're not totally out of the game, so to speak. It's a fair mix and a fair setup. I'm not so keen on the golf courses that you are heavily penalised one way or another. A balance throughout, I think, is important, and I think Foxhills on both courses, the Hunt and the Long Cross, has a very good balance of.
Couldn't agree more, Alistair. We've seen some terrific golf from the boys today under quite a bit of pressure. Now, Nichols at 14, that signature hole.
Yeah, chipping along nicely, 26 points already. And another fine display of an approach shot, setting up a birdie opportunity. Now, remember this man's face from last year.
Yeah, Darren Burton, winner at Goodwood, the Trilby Tour champion of Sussex. And a very smooth swing from the man that just loves to compete on the Trilby Tour.
Let's get it on.
Told you.
Now, important moments for Kopas. 33 points, does receive a shot here on 17, so can tie up his top 10 place with a good little chip and putt, and that's exactly what he looks like he's doing.
Yeah, he does have a phenomenal short game, does John Kopas, and Paul Terry not bad in that department either. And both these men kind of spurring each other on in this group.
Yeah, funny how it goes with golf, isn't it? You hang on to the coattails.
Oh, beautiful. Absolutely wonderful bunker shot from Terry.
Yeah, great exhibition of short game here. Now back to the 14th, birdie putt. Great opportunity. Played the hole beautifully, laid up short of a ditch. We saw that stunning third.
Come
go,
on.
go, go.
Yes.
Oh, yes, gets in.
No arguments there. And a big smile from Lee Nichols and Wynart, the 11 handicapper, 34 points. But Matt, we've got traffic again on that score.
We get traffic every week. It's like driving around the M25. Now out to the 17th. Ledwith going okay, 31 points. Needs a solid last 2 holes. Lovely hole this one. As with every hole here at Foxhills, beautifully framed.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? At least you can see the demand from the tee. You can see the target. It's whether you can hit it or not. But both Barnett and Ledwith have been very steady today. Just drifting a little right, but both men will have a chance at the green. And talking of the green, can Kopas and Terry tidy up?
Yeah, expect to see him knock this in. Great 4 for 3 points. Yeah, just catches enough of that left side. Would go on to score a very impressive 37 points, which takes the clubhouse lead.
Yeah, good stuff from John Kopas, but he held on to that lead for a matter of seconds come the end of this round because Paul Terry managed to surpass him. Again, another solid hole for Terry and a solid round of golf. Top score in regulation then for the 11 handicapper, and yes, Paul, we got it on camera, 38 points for Terry.
Now, Mr. Sutter on the 5th, 10 points already. Was part of the big show last year, made the playoff final and hold that immense putt to lump the pressure on our eventual champion.
And a fine effort from Sutter. The Tottenham fan might be interested in this next interview from William.
Teddy, we've had a few England internationals in this. Sharpie, Latisse. Not done so good.
Have they not?
No. We're banking on you today.
It's the pressure maybe, yeah?
Yeah?
You know, everyone expects you to come out in front of a few million and a few people scattered around the course and expects you to do well, but it's a little bit different when we get the golf clubs in our hand.
It is, isn't it?
A little bit different, yeah.
So what do you fancy doing today? What's going to be the tactics?
Just shoot as good as I can and enjoy my day, really.
Who have you got in the bag today?
One of my mates, Bradley Curtis, very good putter. He's just been lining me up over there. He's just got right in my head straight away. He says, no, you're aiming the completely wrong way. So that's a good start before I get going. I'm playing off 6, so I'll get 5 shots.
So we're not losing too many?
No, not losing too many. I've never played here before, so I'll be interested to see how it plays. That looks pretty tight down there.
Very tight.
Is it? I've been told to stay out the rough, so...
We've got some good vets here today and they're all excited to see you.
Are they? Good.
And see how you get. All the eyes going to be on you, I think, today, Teddy.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, but...
no added pressure there.
Yeah, love it.
Teddy, play well.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Well, Teddy certainly had chances out on the course, but a few wayward putts like that in the end cost him, and cost him dear. And came across the line with 32 points. Fantastic effort and a good score.
Yeah, definitely our top England goal scorer from our Trilby Torians and our top England footballer in terms of points. But no trip to the world final.
Yeah, bragging rights over Sharpie and Letitia. Now Barnett, after that excellent drive at 17, beautiful follow-up. Had to beg, borrow and steal a caddy for today. His daughter was going to caddy but let him down. But she's the one that got him to play in this tournament, and he'll be delighted that she encouraged him to do so. And Ledwith from a slightly better lie looking to follow that in, and we've seen some great golf today, Matt.
Yeah, unbelievable. Green's very receptive, players taking full advantage of that and knocking the stick out. Now par putt on 7 for Truss. In she goes.
He's hammered that in.
Just made the hole a little bit bigger for his playing partners. He does know it's a 7th, doesn't he? He's got 11 more holes to go yet.
Playing alongside Langer.
Oh, and taking full advantage of that bigger hole.
Well, in the end, Langer getting himself onto 34 points and into that group of players that look like they're going to be contesting for the Stoke Park tickets. Now, these are the sorts of lies you can end up with on a course like Foxhills.
Yeah, Atkins been very clever. Green's very receptive, getting lots of spin, so he's laid up into the right-hand rough. Coming in from a good angle. Just got that front right bunker to contend with, but looks to have made good contact. And it's on a good line. Oh, yes.
There you go, Michael. I'd take that Matt Woods analysis if I were you and run with it, mate.
Now Barnett, birdie putt, 33 points, important moments. Oh dear, just burns the left edge, little shake of the head. He knows that's going to be important.
But after such a good start, he did fade over the closing holes, did Steve Barnett. Actually went on to blob 18 and still got 36 points. So looks to be heading towards the playoff.
Still plenty of players out there with a chance to knock him out of that third spot.
Join the gang on 34.
Once again getting very congested.
Yeah, 34 points, definitely looking like a shootout for top 10. Now Atkins needs this.
Yeah, after that great third shot, really needs to take advantage.
Come on.
Oh dear, just slightly over borrowed. We'll tap that in for a par.
Yeah, very good golf. But like a number of players today, ending up with a very frustrating 33 points and didn't qualify. Now, another familiar face, another playoff man, but a man with a reputation for making playoffs. 2 previous years on the Trilby Tour for Andy Jones and 2 top 4s, one at Murray's Hall, one at Goodwood last year.
Yeah, didn't convert that into a win. We've already had our first left-handed winner this year, back at Rockcliffe Hall. And with shots like that, he's going to need to pick up his game if he's going to get into another playoff final.
Where is Sutter off to at 18?
He's gone for the green in 2, missed the target comfortably by 30 yards off to the right. A lot to think about here. Whether that was by design or by default, I don't know, but a great shot. Just caught the ground first and got the ball to release. Now Jones, birdie putt. Slightly off line with his third. Can make up for that with a bit of magic here. Just beautiful scenery in the background. Every hole beautifully framed here at Foxhills. We'd expect to see him tap that in for a par.
Yeah, it's okay from Andy Jones, but his usually reliable short game not quite in tune today. Now Sutter, this for a great save, but I'm afraid now we know what scores are coming in, this isn't going to be enough for Ricky. And that's how brutal the Trilby Tour can be. He was a playoff finalist at the big show last year. He hasn't made it to Stoke Park and he will be gutted.
Yeah, it just shows the quality of golf being played today. 33 points not enough.
But for Jones, despite some troubling inconsistency with his short game, he was heading towards a good score. Incredibly, a third playoff final in 3 years, courtesy of a superb 37-point haul. So we've got our top 4 playoff contenders for today, but what about the top 10? 7 players on 34 points for 3 places. You guessed it, it's shootout time. In the shootout, last year's Foxhills playoff contender, the classy left-hander James Heath, didn't make top 4 this time around, but got it close enough to the pin to make sure he was off to Stoke Park to contest the big one. 11 handicapper Lee Nichols also made the cut in the one-shot clincher, and it was a fairy tale finish for the ever-popular Chris Claydon and caddy Ron Lear as the 6 handicapper finally booked a ticket to the big show. It was very close with the measuring tape up at the green, but Heath is off to the Trilby Tour World Championship final for a second time, with Nichols and Claydon shutting out the other 4 men in this 7-man shootout. And didn't Claydon love it? And after 18 holes, that left a slightly spooky Trilby Tour Halloween leaderboard looking like this. Claydon, Heath, Nichols, Burton, Smales and Knight are bound for Stoke Park, but Stephen Barnett, Andy Jones, John Copas and Paul Terry are off to the tee at the first playoff hole. It's winner-takes-all golfing drama here on Sky Sports, coming right up after the break.
The perfect gentleman's playground. William Hunt Savile Row sponsors the Trilby Tour.
Welcome back to Foxhills Club and Resort as the last 4 men standing prepare to head into the Trilby Tour playoff for the Championship of Surrey. Jones, Terry, Copas and Barnett get ready to rumble. It's playoff time. 4 very evenly matched players in this week's winner-takes-all showdown, and first to the tee is a man who's done it all before.
My name is Andy Jones, I'm 51 and I'm a member of Kings Hill Golf Club in Kent. Well, I've had 3, this is my 3rd wonderful year with the Trilby Tour. First year was Murray's Hall up in Scotland near Perth. Had a great round there, lucky enough to get into the playoffs, finished with 40 points in the day. And then the following year was last year at Goodwood. Finished up the ladder there and again got to the playoffs, and by the looks of things I've been lucky enough today to do the same. Unbelievable. The nerves are definitely there, yeah, as much as they were the first year and certainly last year. Final thoughts going into the playoff are keep looking at the ball, tempo and fingers crossed.
My name's Paul Terry, I'm 53 and I play at Weybrook Park Golf Club in Hampshire. I've always been a big fan of the Trilby Tour. It's the first time I've ever played, but I think they do a wonderful job. Just the fact that I've watched it on the TV now for 2 or 3 years. Wanted to give it a go. It's a lot tougher than what you see on TV. I mean, from your armchair it all looks quite easy, but you get up there on that first tee, people watching, you know, different ball game. Had a great day. If I don't win, I don't win. If I do, that's brilliant.
Hi, my name's John Copas, I'm 53 years old and I play at Wildwood Golf and Country Club in Surrey. The driving is very difficult for me because of the condition of my back, so I have to work hard at the other parts of my game. I've been in knockout finals, which I've won, but nothing as nervous as this. This is going to be tough.
Third to the tee is the man who pushed the 35s out of the top 4. We call him Mr. Popular, Stephen Barnett.
Steve Barnett, 48, Brookman's Park Golf Club. I entered it because my daughter saw it on the television and said I'd really like to caddy for you, so she convinced me to enter. She's of course away with a friend now in Norfolk, so she wasn't here, and I had to bully, cajole and beg a colleague to come and caddy for me. But it was the instigation of my daughter. I think everybody says you stand up on that first tee, you've got a lot of people around, you've got the announcer, you've got the TV cameras rolling, and the nerves are definitely there. Once you got that first one past the ladies' tees and you know that you're safe, then that's what's the really important thing. You hear everybody talking about and can you hit a provisional ball please? You just don't want to hear those words.
Well, he did hear them briefly, but he's got away with it, Matt. They found it, and it looks to be in reasonably good shape. So, off we go into another Trilby Tour playoff.
Yeah, he's been extremely lucky here, into the rhododendrons and kicked out. So this is his second shot. Taking his medicine, just trying to leave himself probably his favourite yardage, 80, 90 yards.
So the rhododendrons, Barnett's new favourite foliage.
Now, didn't play these holes well in regulation, only scored 2 points through the 3 playoff holes, and not off to a great start, but can settle things down here. Really needs to get this inside 15, 20 feet, give himself a chance for par. Struck it beautifully, just got to be careful of the spin.
Oh, yes.
Oh, look at this.
Well played, Steve Barnett, what a comeback. Yeah, good point you made there about the playoff holes. Very often we do the pre-playoff interview, the players say which holes are we going down, and you tell them and their faces drop. They haven't had a good time in regulation.
Now Copas with a decision to make, can fly this bunker shot all the way to the flag or just sort of land it on the edge, let it release down to the hole. Looks like he's taken the second option, and that is just stunning, absolutely stunning. Great bunker shot, the cast iron 4.
Taps in for level then, and the 10 handicapper playoff leader for the moment, pending what the others do. And a smile from John Copas. Now surely, Matt, this is the man with the experience. 2 previous playoffs. Can he nail one here at Foxhills?
Is this the year of the left-hander as well? Left-handed golfers playing great everywhere throughout the Trilby Tour. Fairly standard little chip and run. Oh no.
You spoke too soon, Mr. Woods.
Matt Woods, commentator's curse. I'll be here for at least the next 4 shows. But not if Mr. Jones has got anything to do with it.
That's what you think.
Yeah.
Wait till Andy catches up with you. What a shame.
Yeah, wasting no time with the next one. And some work to be done just to get down in 5.
But that's the thing, isn't it? Over 3 holes, it's a sprint, and it really can put the mockers on your playoff hopes. And John Copas there thinking, well, that's probably one less man to cope with.
Now Barnett, massive putt. Can't afford to let there be too much daylight between him and the leaders. And there's no daylight. Great putt, great 4. Now what will that do for him? This man will be bouncing to the second tee.
That is a brilliant rescue. And Steve Barnett joins Copas on level par. But the pressure pushed all the way down the line onto Terry and onto Jones.
Big deep breath there, just settling things down. Now Terry, birdie putt, chance to take the lead. Stepped his authority all over this playoff early doors. Looks to be good. Oh, and just left it out to the right.
Well, Paul Terry knows that was a golden opportunity. Mustn't dwell on it though.
No time for dwelling in a Trilby Tour playoff. He's got a 193-yard par 3 to worry about with the 11th. Now Jones has got about 8 foot for bogey to worry about. Oh dear.
He did not need that, Andy Jones.
And those immortal words, last place, don't sit very well on the score graphic.
So first playoff hole done and dusted. Andy Jones with something to think about, and here is the 11th.
Yeah, great par 3 this, measuring 193 yards today. Flag in the middle for the playoff final. There is a ditch some 50 yards short of the green, but that shouldn't come into play. A few bunkers at the front that may come into play. Now Terry, after a very solid par on the opening hole. Players could be going in here with as much as 3 iron or even a little rescue club. Probably one of the biggest targets on this stunning Foxhills layout. But that looks to be missing it on the right hand side. Plenty of green to work with. There is a big slope on this green from right to left, so that'll be a quick chip.
Yes, now shot of the 11th that we showed you earlier didn't have the Trilby Tour flag placement that we've just seen there. Now Copas, different strategy.
That is 5 wood. Struggles with a back problem, but love the way he swings the club. Really compact, very neat and tidy, and that is just beautiful. And that really has lumped the pressure on our final 2 players. Now Barnett, what will that par do for him? Should really fill him with some confidence. Can he find his rhythm again on his tee shot? Oh, and that's exactly what he's done. Just love that sound when the ball comes out the middle of the club.
What a beautiful strike, and the stakes have been raised once again in a Trilby Tour playoff. But this is the man with it all to do, Matt.
Yeah, very simple. Can't make any more than 2 here to stand any chance. Looks like he's only got about a 5 iron, so he really needs to get hold of this. Great flow to the swing, lovely balance to his finish. He's loving it. It's all over the flag. Oh, any good. Look at Andy Jones got on the first tee and introduced himself as 2 times Trilby Tour playoff finalist.
Oh, I reckon by the look on the faces of the other 3 after that shot, he may well have done. And as we head to the second playoff hole green, it is still very much game on.
The perfect gentleman's playground. William Hunt Savile Row sponsors the Trilby Tour.
Welcome back to Foxhills Club and Resorts and the 2012 Trilby Tour Championship of Surrey playoff. And this is what happened at the second playoff hole. Andy Jones, after a shocker at the first match, came up with this gem.
Yeah, and this may just keep him in this playoff. Stunning tee shot, never left the flag. Now Terry has left himself a rather difficult chip. Loads of green to work with, but massive swing from the right and very quick once it gets on the surface. Barnett stood in a great position in the background, can learn lots from that. And a little bit heavy-handed, but the speed of the greens makes it look a lot worse than it actually was.
Now Barnett escaped at the first map, but he seems to have taken that as a mandate to crack on.
Yeah, really settled himself down on the second tee, and this looks good as well.
Well, he cleverly watched Terry's chip, and that gave him a bit of a read on his putt. And he just seems to know how to approach this whole situation. So level par for Steve Barnett, maintains a lead, depending on what the others do.
Now Kopas, great little 5-wood into the green. Not too bad with the putt, just got away from him a little bit, so a little bit of work to do. That flag's in a nasty position, that'll have plenty of swing, and he should definitely be watching this putt. Now Jones cannot afford to leave this short. This is up the left-hand side as we look at it and firm.
No.
Oh dear.
That was a must-make putt for Andy Jones. He remains on +2. He remains with that rather nasty last place on his score graphic. And a third playoff looks to be getting away from him.
Terry back up the hill, a little off the left-hand side. Again, another one that needs to be aggressive. And just nowhere near enough. When the greens are this quick and you've got to putt back up the hill, it really becomes very slow. And unfortunately, it moves to +1.
Yeah, one of those putts you'd like to have back, but this is the Trilby Tour, Paul. You can't have it.
Now Kopas, par putt, just outside right edge and firm. Oh dear, and he did everything right. Would have been easy to try and dribble that in, but he gave it a confident stroke, and it's just one of those ones that stayed out.
And the playoff takes another turn, courtesy of missed opportunities on the green, leaving Steve Barnett as top dog heading down the final playoff hole. William caught up with the players on the tee.
Stephen, leading the pack.
Yeah, pleased to be out front, but got to put it to bed now. Make it good on this hole.
What's the plan of this hole?
Listen to my caddy this time.
Good man. Play well. Paul, not quite the recovery.
No, I got a bit twitchy there.
Yeah. The putter let you down a little bit on that one, didn't it?
Just got to go for it now.
Yeah. 1 over. Still in it.
Yeah, still there.
Didn't get the birdie we wanted?
No, I lied. Yeah, I think it may have been a bit of squeaky bum time.
What happened on that last little putt?
Yeah. Well, I hit it firm on the line. I thought it was going to go on, but it lipped out.
Did it all get smaller and smaller?
Yeah, and it's shaped. It blurred a bit.
Is that you?
Yeah.
Andy, nice little par there, get you back into it?
Yeah, nice 3. Needless to say, hoping for 2 because that's what I needed. But we've got 1 to play. See what happens.
Yeah, good par.
Thank you.
So all 4 men safely away, but still playing catch up with Steve Barnett. The par 5 18th became a very solemn procession indeed, with the 3 pretenders to the crown waiting for the champion-elect to make that error that would let them in. And in the meantime, all they could do was march on. But Barnett didn't blink, getting enough of this one from the rough to leave him 123 yards to the pin to set up the victory. That took the wind out of his opponent's sails as one by one they choked at the final hurdle. Kopas short. Terry, by his own high standards, just not close enough. And frustratingly for Andy Jones, found wanting in his 3rd Trilby Tour Regional Championship playoff, leaving Steve Barnett in pole position and ready to hit the biggest golf shot of his life.
Now, come on Steve, one more good swing and this is a march to glory. That's exactly what he's done. Arrow straight into the middle of the green. And the crowd loving it. He's loving it. Caddy's definitely loving it.
It wasn't a happy hunting ground for Steve, the 18th in regulation. But right now in this playoff, it must feel like a great place to be. He's got 1 more test.
Yeah, come on Steve, finish in style. 2 to win, 1 would be fantastic, and this looks online.
Not quite, but it's beautiful. What a way to take the pressure off yourself. Just a short tap in between him and the Trilby Tour Championship of Surrey. He's done it. Steve Barnett is our 8th regional champion of the season.
Week in, week out, these guys turn up, look the part, play the part, deliver in front of the TV cameras. And I take my hat off to you, gentlemen. Another worthy champion on a great venue.
Well done, Steve, but time and Trilby wait for no man as we head on through the tour with 8 regional events down and 2 to go. Halloween this week, but we're hoping for fireworks next week as the tour arrives at the Buckinghamshire with just 20 places left at Stoke Park for the Trilby Tour World Championship final. This man doesn't care though, he's got his ticket and he's got his title. Let's hear from the winner.
What were your thoughts coming down the last?
Well, partly this hole owed me because I blobbed it in regulation, and with just another point or so I'd have been at the top of the board. So I felt it owed me, wanted to stay out the bunkers and then just try and keep it all together really. It's a nerve-wracking thing.
And what was that moment like for you as it dropped in the hole?
It was fantastic. To be honest, when I lagged it right up to the side of the hole, that was the bit where the relief kicked in. Once I'd got to that point, I thought I can make that. I could make those for a win all day.
Now, how would you sum up your experience here at Foxhills?
It's tremendous. I mean, Foxhills was in superb condition. How they got the course into this nick after the rain we've had, I just don't know. The whole experience is like a Pro Tour event. The scoreboards, the banners, and you guys as well. So it's a remarkable experience. I'll definitely do it again.
Congratulations to Steve ×2. It may not have been the most spectacular shot of the day, but under real pressure, this is when Steve stuck it to the rest in the playoff. And so to the moment when we can all sit back and think, actually, I'm really quite good at golf, as our Rogues Gallery maestros stick it to themselves. Now, as all the good coaches tell you, pre-shot routine is essential. And we'll be back later when he's done with his pre-shot routine. Whoops, away it goes. Still going. And finally time to hit. Definitely worth the wait, well for us anyway. And we've got more from Michael at the end of Rogues. Sorry Andy, had to stick this one in.
Rogues Gallery.
And as promised, here's Michael for his penultimate appearance of the programme. And that concludes our Trilby Tour Rogues Gallery business for the week. Here's William.
Wow, what a track. Foxhills want to show off the goodies, and that is a goodie. It's a beautiful course. Beautiful, tight, compact, brilliant for these guys. And the scoring was, you know, was reflected that. I think the guy with the coolest head won it. And I think it was that downhill putt that won it for him, really. That's what took the pressure off him. You know, even to have like the 4-inch putt on the last, he's still got to think about it when all this is riding on it. That hole's just getting smaller and smaller. It's like a thimble by the time you finish looking at it. The highlight of the day for me today was the people that came back to Foxhills, seeing some great familiar faces and some of them doing well for the first time. Great to see Chris Clayton getting through, and that meant a lot to him. I saw him jumping in the air as he went off. You know, he qualified through the shootout in 10th place. It means a lot to people, and for me that's the highlight when it means that much. It was a privilege to have Teddy Sheringham here today, and what a nice man. He blobbed the first, unfortunately. It's amazing to see someone, you know, with that experience, and he tense up. And I spoke to him afterwards, and he said I was all right till when I stood over that ball, then it hit me. This is the Trilby Tour though, it will get to you. That's what it does.
Next week then we're off to the Buckinghamshire, and as always, for more information go to www.williamhunttrilbytour.com. Now, you may have heard me mention Michael's penultimate appearance earlier on, and he's up again at the end of the credits in a bid to keep today's Halloween golfing horror show under wraps, and to achieve that he agreed to be interviewed by William. When will they learn?
And will you tell your family about this score? I mean,
No, they keep it all quiet.
Okay.
We just keep it under wraps. We won't say too much. So.
Okay.
Okay, because they've all had money on me winning today, and so I don't really want
Money
to
down the drain, really?
Really, yes.
Michael Bowman, 15 points, an embarrassment to the Trilby Tour.
William Hunt Savile Row, sponsors of the Trilby Tour. The perfect gentleman's playground.